All good. So welcome to Woman.
Oh, thank you.
So tell the world who you are.
My name is Crystal Williams, and I am here with Jamiris on Woman.
Thank you for coming, Miss Crystal Williams.
Thank you for having me.
All good. So let's get into it.
Okay.
So talk a little bit about your upbringing. How did that shape you as a woman?
Um, my upbringing, I grew up in a two-parent household with siblings, and I am the youngest child of four. Um, both of my parents worked, so the value and the work ethic was instilled early. I saw how they worked, how consistent they were. I grew up a lot in the church. My mom and my dad are both ministers. Um, so that was an aspect I got to see as well. I got to learn how to work in the church, go to church, serve early. So that's still in me today. I still do all of those things. I still work. My work ethic is crazy. So that definitely played a part. Just watching them overall, it definitely shaped me as a woman because not only was it just us in the house, but they're extremely caring and loving people. So we always had somebody there where they were taking in a cousin or taking in somebody else, a friend of a friend. It was just like it's a very caring environment. So it's very interesting.
Gotcha, gotcha. So that's kind of interesting because a lot of women don't have a two-parent household.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of kids don't. Period. So I think that was
Yeah.
definitely amazing for you to have both parents, and then by y'all being in the church as well.
It's an
But
interesting dynamic. Um, you get to see a lot of sides to it. I'm a person that I'm extremely observative, so you get to see a lot of different sides to it. Even with going to church, what I liked, what I was like, what I didn't like, what I noticed as I grew up, just different things. So it's always changing, even in the household. Siblings, whether you get along, whether you don't get along, whether you talk, the age difference, the gaps, it plays a part in our relationships
yeah,
with our siblings. Um, I have a brother, I have two sisters. My sisters are older than me. My brother is a little bit closer. We're like 2 years apart. So just the interactions were different. Um, I'd probably say me and my brother are most alike.
yeah,
So we were a tad bit closer, but it's an interesting dynamic. We didn't always get along. All of us, we didn't always get along.
yeah.
So, and as we grew older, that dynamic has changed multiple times. So
Gotcha. Cool. Okay. So, are you a mother?
I am.
Okay. So, how did motherhood change your viewpoint on being a woman, or did it change it at all?
Um, yes. Like I said, because I'm extremely observative, I observe things about parents already, but when you become a mom and you realize, oh shoot, I had a kid and they actually going home with me. Like you don't give them back.
Right.
You don't get to give them back. They're yours to keep. It definitely changes you in a lot of ways because it makes you, well, it should make you more responsible, make you more attentive to not just your needs, but their needs, make you more selfless. It makes you pay attention to the things that you do because you always have somebody watching you. I have a daughter. She is always watching me, okay? No matter what you think they're not watching,
They watching.
they are
Yeah,
watching,
they
okay? They
always
watch
watching.
everything you do. They think about it, they play it back, they recall everything, they hang on to your word. They want to know if you are who you say you are, if you're going to do what you say you're going to do. And so it's important. And I had my daughter young, so we kind of were growing up together. And that was an interesting dynamic as well because now I look at it and my daughter is 16.
Wow.
She is 16 years old and she graduates next year. And let me tell you, it wasn't always easy. I tell people being a mom is probably the hardest thing I've had to do.
Yeah.
Okay? Probably the hardest things I've ever had to do. It brings stuff out of you that you didn't even know was in there. It brings out more endurance, more staying power. It changes you. It makes you just have to do better in a lot of ways. You're
Yeah.
going to fail because we don't always get it right. There's no handbook. I don't care how good of a mom you had, whatever, you have people that may be there to help you, along the way, kind of guide you, but It's no handbook for motherhood. You just do it the best you know how. Always make sure you're forever learning. Never be prideful, because raising kids, they used to say it takes a village, but it really does, because you learn from different avenues and
Hmm.
different people, different things that you can incorporate. Every child is different. So as they're changing, you're learning how to deal with them, which in turn makes you think, oh, I should have been doing this different, or maybe I need to look at this a little differently.
Right.
All of that happens when you're raising a child, because it's a whole different human being that you have. And as they go through stages, you start going through stages.
Yeah, and she said she's 16 now.
She is
So
16
that's
years
that's a
old.
big stage.
It's a
So
huge
how is that
stage.
stage different now? Like as far as her being 16, almost grown now. So,
Oh, she graduates next year. Let's see. I think I went to school, and so when I was in college, my daughter was a lot younger. And I always say to me, go to school then, okay? I think it's easier, because people are like, no, that's going to be difficult. It's a baby. I was like, listen, that's the easy time, okay? Because when you start hitting the teenage, the middle school, the high school, and all that type of stuff, it gets a little different, okay? You
facts.
become an Uber driver, the attitude, you become an Uber driver. The attitudes change. You don't know what they're going to be experiencing at school, just as much as you think they needed your attention then, which they did.
Hmm.
They needed that times 10 when they start getting older, because you really have to be hands on to what they're hearing, listening, learning what you're saying and what they're dealing with, because they start dealing with a lot of different feelings, um, interacting with people at school, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, bullying, teachers, different stuff. So man, I tell you, this teenage life, I think I may be on the verge of leveling out finally. So,
Well, that's a good. Hey, that's what's up.
yeah, I hit a locking point, but I think I'm leveling back out. So, that's good. I don't know, y'all.
Yeah, I
Stay
mean,
stay
then
tuned.
by you being young, having her, y'all kind of grew up together too. So it's kind of you still had to
Hmm.
figure it out yourself. So cool.
It is. It's interesting to watch her grow at the age she is now, and me think about being 16 then, only that I would have her 2, 3 years later from that
Yeah.
age. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Facts.
it's
Okay.
interesting.
Cool. Cool. So tell me what you think when you hear the word woman.
Endurance, strength, um, brilliance. We are amazing. We're so multifaceted. Um, I think of so many things when I hear the word woman: caregivers, nurturers, visionaries. Like, there's so many things that we encompass as a woman. There's so many things that we do. There's so many things that trials that we face just being a woman. It comes with its own battles itself. No different. I mean, well, men come with battles as well, but I'm specifically speaking about us, and I know some of the challenges that we face are interesting. So when I think about women, I just think about how they overcome so much, how they triumph, how they have to endure, how they keep going, and how they're always making a way, like
Hmm.
literally out of no way, and taking things and making them into something valuable, fruitful, and we're just incredible beings, okay?
Right, man. So we're speaking on challenges. So what do you feel like is the biggest challenge today for women?
Ah, biggest challenge today, I would say, is probably just being valued.
Mm.
Um, being valued, being respected, being treated um, with respect in a certain sense. And that could be in any setting. It could be in the workplace. It could be in a school environment. It could be in businesses that you go to that aren't your workplace, but just handling business and having to interact with people. Just always having to stand firm, be confident with your words, speak up for yourself, because that's something we face a lot. And I can only speak for me and my observations, but I know it's something that I have faced, so having to make sure that you say what you mean what you say, that you're always, paying attention, being sharp as you can, because we're constantly being undermined. And that's not in every setting, but there are some where it's really challenging to just be a woman because they think of you as lesser. They think of you as just not being equal to man.
Yeah. So
And
when you say
so,
that, you mean men in general,
hmm
right?
yeah,
Gotcha.
men in general, even with myself, I work in a male dominated field. It's an interesting dynamic all the time
Mm.
because when I present myself and here to do the work, when they see me as a woman, it's like I'm already getting the side. I like, I don't
Yeah. Like
know.
she a woman, or I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah.
she
Like
a
what she know,
woman.
you know?
What do she
Yeah,
yeah, what does
yeah.
she
I
know?
feel you.
They're offended all the time that you're in the same settings as them or able to speak on what they're speaking on. They feel like you should be quiet. I know it sounds strange, but not to mention you have to think about where we live also. And
Yeah.
so that plays a part.
Facts.
I live in Alabama, and so it may be a little bit more extreme in my case than in some others, but I know that it's a dynamic that I face daily, whether you're even when it comes to pay.
Mm.
We're not even going to get paid the same as men would. They don't start you there. You have to constantly fight. That's what I think about. And so those are challenges that we face. We have to constantly fight for our respect, our placement, um, and just to be seen sometimes, and let alone even be heard, believed. And so it's not all bad, but hey, we do our best, we play our part, and we just got to keep going.
Facts. Facts. Cool. Cool. So, in what area would you want to see women do better?
I would like to see women value themselves more.
Mm.
I feel like they're selling ourselves short sometimes.
Yeah,
I would like to see women value themselves more.
that's a big
Friendships,
one. Yeah.
relationships, business settings, every area, confidence, self esteem. Like, I would like to see women really value themselves, know who they are, know what they have to offer, know what they bring, know what's inside of them, what they carry, what capabilities that they have. Um, I oftentimes see a lot of women that sell themselves short, and it grieves me. Okay.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? You're the third woman I've done this with so far, right?
hmm
All three of y'all said the same thing. It's
Because
the
it's
exact same thing.
true.
Yeah.
It is true. It's sad, and you see it in your friendships or close relationships, your sister, your mom, whatever. You see it so often that it's always coming to your mind. It's always in the forefront. Like, man, like that's sad. Like, I want to see her really know who she is. I want to see her be more confident. I hate that you feel insecure about the way you look, the way you are, the stuff you had to go through or endure. Like, really be proud of yourself sometimes. Give yourself a pat on the back. It doesn't mean that we're going to always meet the mark, but valuing yourself is more than you're more than the mistakes you made, you're more than the errors that you make, you're more than the things you don't know and that you have to still learn. You're deserving, you're worthy, and a lot of times I see women that just don't feel worthy
Mm.
and they don't grab hold to that, and it makes me sad.
So how do we fix that?
How do we fix it?
Yeah.
Your circles matter. It matters about having honest conversations, um, caring about one another. That's how you fix it. If you don't care about your person, your fellow sister, your fellow man, your neighbor, like if you don't really care about them, then you won't care enough to be honest with them, love on them, express love, in more than one way. That's how you fix it. I know y'all probably like, well, you said self esteem and things like that, but all of that matters because sometimes you need somebody that can speak life into you. That's why it's important to have good friendships and good circles and good
Facts.
seek wise counsel and things like that because you need someone that can speak life into you, that can see something in you that you may not see in yourself, um, that can encourage you that in ways that you may not have even looked at yourself or thought that you can do. I told, was it my mom? I think I was talking to my mom and my cousin that sometimes people around me they have so much confidence in me, and I'm like, dog,
Yeah.
I need to see it that way
See it in
because yeah,
yourself.
I
Yeah, you
gotta
gotta
see
see
it
it in
that
yourself.
way,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty confident, but the confidence they have in me is like on another level.
Right.
They don't take a second thought, and sometimes you need for people to see that in you to show you that I see it, whether you see it or not. I just need you to tap in and see it.
Facts.
And so it makes a difference. I'm like, I'm trying to get there. I want to see what they see. So let me keep going because they already see it. I need to
Yeah.
see it. So
Cool.
that's how I feel.
All good. All good. Okay.
Mhm.
So do you feel like men are doing a good enough job in their understanding of women?
Hmm.
This could be, father, brother. It ain't got to be, a husband or a boyfriend, but just men in general.
Men in general. No, no, I don't. And let me tell you why. Because not just in a negative sense, but I see there's a certain lack there where I don't feel like people, it goes back to that care level thing, man. Like people aren't really seeing each other and taking the time to understand, listen, or really hear what each other's plights are. And that can, I know that can go both ways for men and for women. But so I'm going to say no, because a lot of times I'm hearing women talk and it sounds very dismissive and it sounds um, just demeaning in a sense like, oh, okay, it's fine. Or, oh, they're rambling. Oh, they're nagging, oh, they're maybe complaining. So when you hear those things, it's like sometimes, yes, that may very well be true. Okay, man. It's very well true that that may be happening on some occasions, but on a lot of occasions, I think we miss each other by not taking the time to just listen, be considerate of what the person is saying, really just give a lending ear, have empathy towards a person to know what they're saying and why they're saying it. If we ignore it because it doesn't affect us directly, that's when we lose, the understanding
Mm.
because we wipe it all away when we don't care what they're saying or why they're saying it because it's not affecting us. It's just another day, another conversation. You have to take it as serious as if it was you or someone that you care about. If it was
Right.
someone that you care about, it would make more of a difference to you. It has to be like that. It has to be more love from one another on both sides, I would say.
Right. Right. Okay.
Hmm.
So, last question. What advice would you give to a younger you?
Um, oh my God, I would probably tell Crystal to, girl, believe in yourself. Do what makes you happy. Don't do what you think gonna make the money. Do what makes you happy.
Mm.
Listen to yourself.
Hmm.
Trust yourself. Go after everything you want. No is just a word, okay? We got to get going. Even if there's a no, there's a yes on the other side of that. That's going to be in the right timing. Don't quit on yourself. Always bet on you. That's what I would tell her. Just keep going. Love yourself. Always bet on you. God got you. He had a plan for you before you was even here, and that plan is what you betting on. You betting on God's plan for you. So
All good.
that's what I would tell her. Hey, little Crystal.